You've tuned into the Millennials Anonymous podcast.
Yes, it is your girl Lise Winnie, and I am a fucking millennial. Today we got a lot of stuff to talk about
ready
today.
As your girl Lise gets you hyped and real
comfortable. They need to be comfortable.
WRDR and we're 98.4 FM.
I'm gonna have to throw this bitch in the river. Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Millennials Anonymous podcast. Yes, it is your girl Lise Winnie, and I am a fucking millennial. So we got to get this party started right. And so very, very quickly, but before I can do that, I know you like Lise, you looking like an extra in a ghetto ass Robin Hood movie. And I'm like, yes, this is what I look like today. This is what we doing today. We're not gonna address it. We're gonna ignore it and we're gonna move past it. That's what we doing. But this is what you got. And so we gonna fucking deal with it. It is my youngest daughter's birthday today, so happy birthday to her. She turns 5 years old, so she at the time where you can like give them a box and shit, and they just go off and make imaginations. Like a lot of kids. Well, I don't know, because kids nowadays don't really have imaginations because kids nowadays watch other kids play with toys. Like that's where we're at. Like they literally are the people that are watching other kids play with toys, and they will sit there and watch that for hours. I never could understand that shit. Like, but then again, I was like, well, as an adult, I guess we watch porn and we sit there and watch that for hours. So it's sort of like, you know, you're watching them play. So it's all the same at the end of the day. It's all the same. Oh. So that's where we're at. It's her birthday. Happy birthday to her. We gonna be in the house. We in the house like LL Cool J. We don't go out. Like where I am in the area that I am, not too far from me, is spiking. Yeah, we spiked. We spiked this punch because y'all fucking asses don't want to stay in the house. Like y'all out, you going, you traveling, you doing this, you just out there, and it's just too much. And y'all need to stay y'all asses in the house. I know this vaccine coming out. We're gonna talk about that in the top 10 trending topic, but y'all doing the most, okay? Y'all doing the most, and I need y'all to stay the goddamn in the house. Speaking of which, like even when y'all go in the store, like y'all don't even be social distancing in the store. When I tell you I moved up and the person behind me moved, I was like, when I move, you move. It was like Ludacris was in this bitch, like in the store, because every time I moved up, she moved up. I'm like, listen, I'm not with you. I don't know you. You back the fuck up. We not together. I need you to back up. You need to back up. Like I don't want to have to do this in this store today. I don't give a damn if you old. You gonna back the fuck up today. Like I don't know what you got. You be backing it up. Back that ass up. Okay, all the way up. Because every time I move up, you move up. This is not a goal for you to do that. And a lot of y'all be doing that in this store. Like just because we in the store don't mean you can't catch COVID from me. You don't know what I got. I know I might look clean. You're like, she look good. She look clean. You don't know what my lungs look like. All right. You don't know what them bacterias look like in there. All right. Bacteriums in me. You don't know that. So I need you to back all the way up. So just back up next time you see me in the store, or anybody for that matter. Just back up. All right. And today is a very interesting day because top 10 trending topics is going to be short. And you know how I'm long-winded as fuck, but we're going to try to keep it to a minimum. Okay. I'm going to keep it to a minimum. And we have a guest today, so I'm excited. We have Miss Amy Correa Bell here today. Amazing. She's an artiste. Okay, she's a singer, she's an actress, she's a creative. We're going to talk to her today about her upcoming EP and all the things that she has going on, because she's so dope, so awesome. She's bringing that Cali flair. You know, we're on the East Coast, she's West Coast, so it was like the East Coast, West Coast connection. It was so like back in the day, it was like Bad Boy and Death Row, but in a good way. Like we wasn't beefing or nothing like that, but it was in a good way. We came together as one. We came across the United States of these good ass Americas. So we have her today. So top 10 trending topics is going to be a little bit shorter because it's such a great interview. I don't want to cut it short. So we're going to have a whole interview today. And I also want to give a shout out to Unapologetically Dope Podcast, because they actually are doing an Image Awards for smaller content African American creators. So big shouts out to them. That will air on December the 30th. We did write an article up for that. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the blog about what they're doing, please go and check out the blog about what they're doing. I'm so happy that it's more people that are recognizing these smaller platforms. Independent media matters, man. So make sure you support independent media as much as you support the big ones. More and more people are starting to do this, and hey, it's enough room for everybody, because basically what this means is that you're going to get more information, you're going to get more perspectives, and so you have less of that groupthink going on because you have more people talking. So the more people and the more perspectives and opinions are out there, you are better able to make a choice of your own. Now you can choose what you truly believe and what is the best thing for you to do or say or buy or whatever the fuck it is that you're looking at. So make sure you support. So shout out to them for that as well. So let's get into these top 10 trending. Oh, wait a minute, did I forget something? I think I'm forgetting something.
Turn that shit up.
Alright, so let's get to these top 10 trending topics of the week. So Monday, yes, today, Monday, we will get a president today. Yes, they will vote, the Electoral College will vote on who will become the next sitting president of the United States of America. Now, I know what we hearing out here in these streets. I know Trump is saying, hey, it's a little bit of fraud over here, it's a little fraud over there, we got a fraud everywhere. But ain't nobody seen it. We ain't seen it. No, we ain't seen it. So this is happening. He also said, President Donald Trump had said that he said, hey, I'll leave if the Electoral College votes in Joe Biden, and they certify his 306 votes. So it appears that Joe Biden will win with 306 votes, which ironically is the same amount of votes that Donald Trump himself won over Hillary Clinton when he said he won in a landslide. Now, we'll see if he changes his tune. I'm not sure. And a nor'easter is coming. Not Easter like the Easter Bunny is coming. No, the nor'easter is going to be hitting the northeast. Yes, or affectionately known as the North. Okay, the North is about to be hit and dumped with a ton of snow. Now, this is a sign from the Lord, Jesus Christ himself. He said, y'all need to sit in the house. Y'all been out here in these streets. Y'all ain't been listening. Y'all been doing the damn thing out here, just running the streets. And we can't have that. We cannot have y'all out here. So in my area, we're supposed to get up to a foot, maybe a little bit more than a foot in some areas. I don't know if this is what's about to happen, but on Wednesday, we will see if the snow is coming. Now, let it snow and stay in. And speaking of kind of true, Verzus is actually going to get postponed. Yeah, it's going to get pushed back. Yeah, we're not going to be happy. We're not going to hear happy because Ashanti apparently got the COVID. And because she got the COVID, she can't be with Keisha Cole and everything. And so she did go on live with Keisha Cole, and they sat there and she was talking. She said she feels good. She wanted to do it still. But listen, Ashanti, listen, we didn't need Teddy Riley in the back. Yep. We didn't need the Teddy Riley syndrome to have the internet be all cutting out. Like the first couple verses, the internet was all fucked up. Like sometimes your Wi-Fi be good. Everybody Wi-Fi ain't created equal. And everybody technological skills ain't created equal. So we gonna need y'all to be together. I know you're gonna serve us looks and body. Okay, we gonna be waiting on it. All right, we gonna get looks and body from y'all. So we gonna appreciate you. COVID vaccine. Speaking of COVID, the COVID vaccine is approved by Pfizer. Yeah, Pfizer got that green light. And they're going to start administering vaccines. But just like I said, unless it is coming from Amazon Prime, and Amazon is doing this delivery, like I said, Jeff Bezos, he don't be paying no taxes, but he get that shit out of that warehouse real fast. I'm just saying, every week I'm going to say it because I'm still ordering shit off Amazon, and it just comes on like clockwork. And if it ain't Amazon, the incompetence of it all. We've seen the incompetence of it all. And I knew, and they already this week, they already done fucked up. Like, it's just the first week, and they done fucked it up. They done sent the vaccine kits to the wrong state. A hospital in California expected to get powder vaccines, and they got frozen ones that they didn't know what the fuck to do with. And they couldn't really handle it because that's not what the fuck they was expecting. And they have tens of thousands of people that are thinking that they're going to get vaccine in the coming weeks when it's really going to be a couple months. So it's a lot. They already fucking up already, and it just started. And if I'm not mistaken, Pfizer and Moderna, they both got 2 shots. So now you got to get these motherfuckers to come back and get a second shot. So if you get the 1 shot, you got to come back and get the 2 shot. Now, it's a lot of people that don't follow instructions and they don't read, and I feel like this is really about to be some shit. Like, I shout out to the scientists and the people that's flying the planes and all of them driving the trucks. We appreciate y'all, but this is about to be a disaster. And speaking of what happened with this one, Uncle Snoop is back. He's on his uncle duties. He is uncling like he said that he would. And this time he's talking about women should leave their bodies in their clothes. And they should leave stuff to the imagination and stop telling people about it. Now, Snoop said this. Snoop said, it's like too fashionable. When the secrecy that should be a woman's, that's like your pride and your possession. He continued, he said, that's your jewel of the Nile. That's what you should hold on to. That should be your possession that no one gets to know until they know about it. Now, what I will say, Uncle Snoop, appreciate you being an uncle. We like you uncling. We like you being this father figure. It's cute. We like it. But I'm going to have to call the hypocrisy. Okay, so we're going to call the hypocrisy. Now, I know that he did. Now, listen, before y'all start jumping on Snoop, he did say that he championed Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B for being out here and doing it. Like he said, they speaking up for women. They can be, say what they want to say. They being a champion for women's sexuality and all of that. He said he love it. Okay, he love it. They should keep doing them. Okay, keep doing it. Appreciate them. But, he also said he has a daughter. She's probably out here whopping. But if he was 2021, he would appreciate the movement. But now that he's an older gentleman, he's like, no, I like a little to the imagination, which I'm going to call hypocrisy. So first of all, probably the parents of Cardi B and potentially Meg Thee Stallion probably grew up listening to Snoop music. Okay, so if any of this was passed down, it probably came from Snoop and other people like Uncle Snoop. Okay, and Uncle Snoop, you made millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars on not pornographic, but sexually explicit images. Well, actually pornographic, you did do Girls Gone Wild. Yep, you had a whole line of Girls Gone Wild videos. I remember those commercials. They came on real late at night. It was very, very weird. But I remember those back in the day. So you had a whole line of Girls Gone Wild, sexually explicit lyrics and images that you've made millions on. Okay, so if people didn't want to show their WAP, okay, you wouldn't live in a mansion. So let's just keep it 100 on this. I get what you're saying, because a lot of the time we do need to WAP, but we also need to be able to do other things too, because sometimes you look at the timeline of the people and it's just like twerking on the chair, twerking on the side, twerking on the ceiling, twerking on the balcony, twerking on the store, I'm like, can we do something else? And the hottest toys of the year. So apparently Star Wars, anything with Baby Yoda, is supposed to be big, and this is according to New York Magazine. Now, I don't think the kids give a fuck about the Mandalorian. Like, I don't think they care about that. I think that's the grown-ass men walking around with Yoda babies, because ain't no kid caring about no goddamn Baby Yoda. Like, they're just not, okay? They're just not. And Chadwick Boseman's character, the Black Panther, will not be recast. So I know that I had mentioned, I think there was a story that was going around that they were saying that Shuri, the sister, would actually be filling the Black Panther role. That is not going to happen. According to Marvel Studios chief, he said the sequel will honor Boseman's legacy, and they're going to continue to explore Wakanda and all the rich characters that they introduced in the first film. And they didn't say how this was going to be done, because I'm thinking about the semantics, and I'm like, what are you going to show, like, I guess it's not really Chadwick Boseman's mother, but Black Panther's mother? You're going to show the Panther's mother in the kitchen, like she gonna be cooking over here, and then you gonna have, you know, them other people, they gonna be over here walking down the street, and then you got, because I'm like, his character was in a whole relationship, so how do you show that character? You know what I mean? Miss Olivia Jade had a lot to figure out when she came to the Red Table Talk with Jada and Willow and Gam. So she had a lot to talk about. And if you don't like who is Olivia Jade, this is Aunt Becky. Remember Aunt Becky from Full House? That's how I remember Aunt Becky from Full House. This is her daughter. And because Aunt Becky in jail right now, okay? She is locked up, like Akon said, and her dad is also locked up, okay? So they both in jail because they paid a whole $500,000 to get her into USC. They paid another $500,000 to get her sister into USC. Sidebar to a sidebar. USC, amazing school, amazing kids, amazing students, amazing staff. Is it worth $500,000 for an application? No. If you're gonna pay, that's $1 million they gave to USC. Now this don't include the food you eat in the cafeteria. It don't include the shitty toilet paper in the dorms. It don't include the bed. It don't include the books. It don't include the lectures. It's just this application. And there have been a huge surge in reports apparently about revenge porn this year. They're saying that people have been stuck in the house, and this has been exacerbating an ongoing problem. Now, it is illegal in some countries and some states here in the United States, but people still are doing this. They're saying around 2,050 reports have been made to a government-funded hotline or helpline, which they're saying is a 22% rise since last year. Now, what I will say, I'm going to be on my Aunt Lease moment. Since Uncle Snoop is uncling, I'm going to be aunting. Don't send no naked pictures to nobody. Don't send no explicit pictures. I don't care how many times they ask for it. Send them little circles that look like it's loading. Do not send anybody a naked picture of you, because once it's out there, it's gone. Yes, you can go through the legal process, but why have to deal with that shit? Just don't send it. Most of us don't even look that good naked anyway. So like, just keep it to yourself. He can see it in person, or she can see it in person. And if they can't see it in person, then they don't need to see it. That's all I'm saying. Just let it be. Just let it ride. If you want to, hey, take a page out of the Instagram people. All of them half of them is got their asses sitting on the countertop in the bathroom. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Or create an OnlyFans. If you're going to put naked pictures out there, at least get paid for it, baby. Just at least get paid. I'm just saying, if you're going to put it out there, just do it right. Just do it the right way. And this has been top 10 trending topics. Let's get to this interview with Amy 818. Yesterday, I'm excited because I've been listening to her music and I've been watching her videos. She is an artist, creative artist, and so I can appreciate people like her. Welcome to the show, Amy. How are you doing today? Should I call you Amy 818, or what should I call you?
I feel like Amy Correa Bell, Amers, Amy 818.
Oh, is it okay? Can I call you Amy?
Yep.
Oh, first name basis. I love it. Okay, I feel special.
What's up, Lisa? I'm happy to be here.
All right, so we need to know a little bit about you, because I gave somewhat of an intro, but it's not all of who you are. So who is Amy? Before you became Amy 818, you were just Amy Correa, and you're from San Fernando Valley. So tell us about Amy from the Valley.
Well, Amy Correa from the Valley is a daughter of an immigrant woman from Guatemala and daughter of a Puerto Rican man raised in New York. Met down here. They came and met and got married a month later. So I'm blessed to have gotten the opportunities and grown up in a beautiful place like the Valley, the 818. But I would say that I am a girl that's full of inspiration, that loves to perform. I love to put on a show. Like my main heart of hearts is just putting on a show, whether that's through acting or through music. I just love being in front of people, and I love performing. And so when you said I was like a creative artist, I was like, that actually fits, because I would say I do a little bit of everything. Music and performing music is definitely my passion, because I love to see the look on people's faces and connect with them when I'm singing a song. But at the end of the day, my parents are full of passion. You know, Latinos, very, very drama. And growing up to them, my brothers are 10 and 12 years older than me. They'd always put me on the spot to do impressions, to dance, to sing. And I was that little kid that did it all. Amy, come over here. Show us how your dad looks when he gets home. Like, he walks like this, and, you know, and show us the song you learned from Madonna. And I would do the routine. Like, I just grew up with a family, like, encouraging me to be who I am. And I think my brothers both being DJs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and producers that were 10 and 12 years older than me. So if you can imagine, when I'm 5, they're 15 and 17. When I'm 7, they're 17 and 19, and they got people over breakdancing in the living room, spinning, scratching records on vinyl, you know. So I just grew up in the like 80s, and, you know.
Are you an 80s? Are you an 80s baby?
Baby, raised in the 90s, and yeah, there you go.
Okay, so you know the Pop-Tarts and the Lunchables. Okay, all right, yes.
Yeah.
So you're millennial.
I have some Pop-Tarts in my house right now.
Okay, wait a minute. What flavor though?
The strawberry ones.
Okay, the classics. We can appreciate the classics. Okay, I got you. I was getting a little worried. I get worried with the new ones, like the milkshake ones, and it's like, yeah.
No, I don't play that. I don't play the chocolate ones or none of that stuff. And you know that the San Fernando Valley is where Richie Valens, you know, he's from right up the street. You know, Danny Trejo.
Oh, don't tell me he's from your neighborhood.
He's from my neighborhood. He's about 3 minutes away from me, 3 to 5 minutes. Patrick Swayze lived a block up the street from me growing up. I used to see him all the time.
Oh,
Mark
wow.
A lived in my city. So I rep hard the 818, just so you know.
Okay, so you grew up in the Valley. Like when we talk about a Valley girl, that's you. Okay.
Because people are like, oh, do you talk like a Valley girl? I'm like, I'm definitely like a hood Valley girl, but I'm definitely.
Is that a thing? The hood Valley?
Yeah, it's like you still talk Valley, but you have a little like hood in you.
Is it all, because it sounds like it was very like big houses, big cars, celebrity.
Well, the Valley is very that would say that's more like Encino, Studio City, like where the Kardashians grew up. I'm in the Valley, like the San Fernando Valley.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like a hybrid. So right where I live, there's tons of Mexican cowboys, like tons, and they kind of run the city. And then to the, you know, there's very suburban, like lots of like, you know, different kind of like, there's Asians, there's white Americans, and they're kind of in their bubble. And then we have blacks and then Latinos, and then we're just kind of all meshed up together. You know what I'm saying?
So is it like a New York? It's like a California, but a little bit of New York in there. Like you got everybody kind of mixed together.
But the difference is there's tons of mountains, there's tons of horses, there's chickens, there's llamas. So it's kind of weird. Like just the other night I heard, you know, because I'm still in the Valley.
Okay.
I heard that, you know, they were having a concert like dun, 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 like till 2:30 in the morning. I was like, I love this neighborhood. I love the culture. I love that I can get the best Mexican food and Salvadorian food right down the street. And I love that I can rent horses. I love that I see black people. I love that I see Asians. And now there's Armenians like in the area. So it's kind of a great mix. And I think that's where I would say like the hood Valley came in there, you know? Because people, when they think of the Valley, they think, oh, it's so posh, it's Beverly Hills. But I'm like, no, that's Beverly Hills. The Valley's like the melting pot of something different.
Okay, got you. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, you know, like that big life. I knew it wasn't Rodeo Drive. I know that's in Beverly Hills, but I was like, oh, that sounds so like.
Yeah, so if you ever come to California, you should check out the Valley, the Handsome Dam, and different areas here, because a lot of people miss this beautiful part of California. They just go to the Hollywood sign and like Highland and Hollywood and LACMA, and they kind of forget that there's a whole other side to Cali. That's just,
Where is? Because I've been to Palm Springs, I've been to LA.
yeah.
So where are you on that spectrum?
So, have you been to Burbank or Pasadena?
I have not.
Okay, so I would say there's Hollywood, and in front of it, there's another city called Burbank, and then I'm like 3 cities in front of that. But it's basically the further you go towards the mountains, right under the mountains is the Deep Valley, which is where I'm from.
Got you. See, we're getting a geography lesson. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Now we know about California. But I want to know about your name, because I think your name, it means something, correct? So the Amy 818 actually has a meaning. It's not just a cool area code name. It actually has meaning. What does it stand for?
It stands for, well, 818 I feel means something special because the 8 is an infinity sign and the 1 is like right in the middle of 2 infinities. So I love the number, like what it resembles in numerology. And then I love that I'm from here because like when I was little, growing up watching La Bamba and my parents being like, he lived right down the street. And they took me to the swap meet when I was like 9 or 10 and I met Ralph Macchio from the Karate Kid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, you can follow your dreams, So like things like that just stick with me since I was little. And Patrick Swayze, the guy from Ghost, growing up being like, the guy from Ghost lives right up the street from me. And all these peacocks. It made me feel like, man, these people are right here. Like I could go for my dreams. Like I felt the inspiration of just being in this area, which is even a lot of immigrants, a lot of Mexicans have come here and have started businesses, and they've made such a beautiful culture in San Fernando. Salvadorians, and my mom comes from Guatemala. So like just the fact that we're here, like our whole family's here and we get to kind of go for our dreams is like, knowing how my mom grew up and where I'm at now, it's such a blessing.
I could imagine that. And
it is an ode to where I'm from, like giving honor and respect to my hood where I grew up.
You always got to rep the hood. Even as old as you get, as far as you move away, you always have to represent where you come from. It means a lot to the people, and it builds you who you are. I hate the people who move and then they forget where they come from. You can't do that. You always got to take it with you.
No. I know. And people from LA, like, we'll meet up and she'll be like, you from LA? I'm like 213 310. No, I'm 323 or I'm 818. Like down here, we have our little things with each other,
Yeah. I think that's everywhere. Like everywhere kind of like, no, you're not from around here. So I'm from Baltimore originally. I don't live in Baltimore City now, but I am from Baltimore. So it's very interesting.
What's your area code?
It's either 443, 410. We got a lot of them. 667.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So it's either 443 or 410 really is in that Baltimore area, but mine is 443.
Nice.
But I was just listening to what you were saying, because it sounds like you've always been that person that was going to get into the arts, that was going to become a creative. You've always been kind of inspired by the arts. Was that because where you grew up? Because you grew up so close to, like you said, to these people, to Hollywood, where it wasn't far-fetched for you?
Yeah, I would say it's a combination of the incredible musicians, the legendary artists that are still legends today, seeing them at such a young age, like growing up, with Moonwalker, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Janet, all these classic hip hop groups like the Beastie Boys, Tribe Called Quest, and just these like major artists being on my television screen, doing these incredible videos as a kid. So it was a mix of that, being where I'm from, and then like when I was 11, I told my parents, I'm like, I really want to be on TV or something, like. And my dad's like, well, they're filming Meteor Man down the street. We can go down there.
Oh, wow.
And to be honest, that's how I got in the acting industries. I met someone there that became my manager, and I got my job as an extra. And I was an acting extra for like maybe 2 movies. And then I booked my first Burger King commercial. My first commercial I ever auditioned for, I booked it, got into SAG, and like, I just became a child actress. From then on, I just never stopped acting. And
what was your first line? You remember it?
That is such a great question. So Burger King, I had no lines because it was music playing and we were like dancing and stuff. Um, let's see. I think my very first line was in Spanish.
Really?
The pilot called Popcorn Kids when I was 12. I think I had braces on, and we were rating movies like thumbs ups or thumbs down. But I don't remember what those.
But which is cool because you've been acting.
Popcorn Kids or something.
Okay. But you've been acting for a minute, which I didn't realize until I was looking you up. Like, you've been in The Parkers, you've been in ER, Gilmore Girls, That's So Raven, and also more recently Dexter. Like, why make the jump? Like, it sounds like from the age of 11, you were already doing acting. What made you say, you know what? I like acting, but I think I'm gonna sing.
Well, I got into piano classes at 11. I was a very hyper kid, and my parents were like, put her in piano classes. Because back then, all I did was record myself on these cassette tapes, like singing and banging on the piano. I think I might have been getting on their nerves. So they sent me to this piano teacher. But what they didn't know was he was such a legend. Like, he taught me all the classics, like Billy Joel, Nat King Cole, and he would teach me how to like sing these songs. And he always like, hey, you can sing, and he'd record me singing. So when I turned 17, I got an audition to be MCA was putting together a girl group that they were going to sign, and they wanted a Latina girl or an ethnic girl, and so they wanted to audition me. And I honestly was like, I feel like I'm not that great of a singer, but I could dance. Like, I'm a good dancer. I've been in drill team and this and that. And everyone's like, dude, you should just audition for it. Who cares? You never know. That could be the thing that gets you your next big movie. And so I auditioned for that. Literally, we went to sing for, believe it or not, Randy Jackson.
Really? That's cool, dog.
Song group. All I Do Is Think of You. We learned it and sang it, got our record deal. And then the rest is history. Now I'm full blown in the music industry.
That's pretty, like Randy Jackson. I could imagine. How old were you when you first did that? When you were auditioning in music? Were you still a teenager?
And I just knew he was the guy that worked there that was going to hear us sing. Not until years later, I actually have a friend that worked for him for 10 years. And that's when American Idol started. I go, I know him. Like, I met him when I was younger. And then, like, I actually ended up seeing him again, and he remembered me. He's like,
really? That's so cool, though, to say that you met him, before we all knew him, because he's been in the industry, but we didn't know who he was if you were on the outside. That's pretty cool.
Because he got us, he approved us. He gave us that stamp of approval and let us, get our first record deal and, like, get the best, that we could get. And it was just such a life-changing experience because all the rest of the girls were from other states. And, I had an opportunity to move in with one of them. And I told my parents, I was like, please, can I just move with the girls? Because I want to be with the girls all the time. And our schedule was like every day, like work with a vocal coach, 4 hours of dance, go learn how to like walk and talk and pose, and don't talk to too many people because we want you guys to be famous. Like, it was weird back then, but very like. And I wasn't the lead singer. Okay, I was the girl that did all the low notes and the rapping and the talking in the beginning. So,
you are a rapper.
Yeah, I wasn't like rapping, but I do all the like, yeah, what's up? Like all the stuff on the. But I was going, man, I better learn how to write music because I'm not the lead singer. So that's how I learned to write music. I was like, okay. I started telling the producers, I really want to write. I feel like I know how to write music. I know music well. My brothers are DJs, and I literally fell in love with making music. Because we got to work with producers that work with Beyonce, and like back in the day, they were working with Jennifer Lopez when she was first starting, and like,
oh damn, okay,
they were working with the Pussycat Dolls and different people. Like, they were well-off producers, so I feel like I got to just see how the best worked at a young age, and kind of it really like gave me that fire for music.
Oh, that's so I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned you moved with one of your group mates.
Yeah.
A lot of solo female artists start off in groups for whatever reason. How was that? Because I'm just gonna throw it out there. It seems like female groups don't work. How was it starting your music career off in a music group? Do you think it helped you? Do you think it hurt you? Was it beneficial?
I think it really helped me. It was very beneficial to learn how to work with a manager, an accounting manager, different people, and it made me very like work harder, because these girls were a lot further along than me musically and could sing. So like one of them sounded like Christina Aguilera. And I mean, whenever there was a part given to us, we'd all be like auditioning, like, I can do this. And it just made me like work 10 times harder. So I would say it was very beneficial. I mean, honestly, it was my biggest heartbreak as well, because
Really?
I felt one of the best albums I've ever been a part of, and the world never got to hear it. We only have like 1 or 2 songs out on iTunes, you know. And yeah, that, I would just say it was the biggest heartbreak. We did before reality shows were a thing, we were the first to do a reality show with Dean Cain.
Really? Superman. Okay.
Pilot with us. So I just thought, man, we're gonna make it. Like, you know, we're going all the way. And no, it didn't.
What happened to the group? What happened? Did you guys mutually say, hey, or was the label like, you know? Yeah,
the lead singer of the group kind of had an on and off battle with one of the other beautiful singers. There was 2 lead singers. A boy was involved, of course, like always.
Always.
A producer boy.
Oh.
The main lead singer, she decided after our tour was set up that she was going to go ahead and let the label know she didn't want to be a part of it. And that made us look bad. And then the label's like, you know what? We put so much money into this. We feel like we're just not going to move forward. You guys don't have your lead singer. And that was it.
Damn, fucking men. Like, they just can't keep it together, men. God damn it.
I know.
So, you were in more than one. Weren't you in 3 groups total?
So after that, I had to, I went back into acting. I met a girl that someone said I'd be a great person to write with. We were in a group called Craze.com with my brother, Eddie, and he was our DJ. We had a girl drummer. And then Megan Good and her sister Lamaya Good used to come to all our shows, and they loved us, and they were like, dude, we should do a group like the 4 of us, because Megan's my best friend. And
really? Okay, yeah. Cool. I didn't know that.
She's like, I really wanted to perform with you guys, and we just thought it'd be great. Like, why not? Why don't we do a little side group? And it ended up being a cool thing, the Hello Girls. And then Megan booked a big show. So then Sterling and I, the girls from Craze.com, we decided, why don't we just do Sterling and Amy? And so we did Sterling and Amy. And then we got an opportunity to tour with another big group called Hot Natured. And we got to perform at Coachella with them.
So you weren't in, because for some reason I was thinking you were in that group. Hot Natured.
We weren't in that group. That group is 2 DJs, and they have featured artists. So their featured artist was Annabelle England, and then they hired us on to kind of do all the singing and hype up everybody and dance. So it was a really okay, we get to go to Coachella with the Artist Pass. We get to go to CRSD Festival. We got to perform at the El Rey. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely. Coachella?
I couldn't say no to that opportunity, but the girl group thing was an ongoing thing for me. And I think it kind of just got to a point where I was like, I just want to do my thing. I think I'm trained up enough. And I just had this, I've always been an actress. I've always I never felt like I could fully do my thing, because I was always making room for other people on a track. And I think I just got the bug, that Coachella show just changed me or something. Just being in front of all those people and the energy I had, I was like, yo, I'm not even nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In front of everybody. That means you're in your lane, in your passion at that point.
Yeah, it's I feel like I turn on, actually.
That's, you know what is interesting to me, just talking about your sound a little bit. I don't know if it's the groups that you were in. I don't know if it's where you grew up, but I hear pop. And it's interesting, like I hear the influences of Madonna. I hear a little bit of rock in you as well. So why never the rock genre? Because I know that you identify with the pop genre, but not rock. That's interesting to me because I get a little rock from you.
7th and 8th grade, I mean, I was obsessed with Nirvana, The Offspring, Green Day, Papa Roach, the Cranberries. And so I love rock music. Alternative rock dominated the late 90s along with hip hop. And so that group I told you, craze.com, we were like punk hip hop. So we would do covers of Nirvana, Beastie Boys, NERD. So I would say, and I love Paramore. I'm definitely I definitely love rock music. And even if I'm not doing full on rock, I believe in my future when I'm able to have a full on band, we'll hear more of it. But I say the influences of that come out more in how I sing a song. Like, sometimes that little screamy thing.
Okay. I can hear it.
Punk rock music. I love rock, and I like to integrate that into my sound, so it's more like a unique thing.
Oh, and I can hear that so much because when I'm listening to you and I was listening to your music, I was like, I could really see her doing a full-on rock album. Like I can hear it.
Up right now.
See, there we go. Like I'm telling you,
when I perform, I'm very rock vibe. I jump around a lot.
But that's who I feel like. That's your persona. I like it. I like it a lot. But even in your new EP, Amy 818, you can hear it. But what really inspired the sound for the new EP that you have?
Well, the producer I worked with on this EP is also from LA, from the Valley. We recorded it in Van Nuys. So I told him, hey, this first EP, I want it to be about where I'm from. So the song 818, Gang Gang is very Latino under Gang Gang is kind of like how my Latinos, we like to get together and go to the park and, eat corn and just out Gang Gang style. So, and then Fuck It, I'm Good is up the R&B side of me.
Okay.
I just love R&B. I wouldn't say I'm an R&B artist, but I love the vibe of R&B. So I like to bring a little essence of that in there. In the dojo, that song is really about riding on my bike up the street to pick up my friend. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna go, smoke a little weed. We're gonna go do this or whatever and hang out. That's kind of how I grew up, and I just wanted to be honest about that because I was like, that's the first line of the song. This is for my homies, all my friends from way back, So I was like, I have to do a song for my homies. When they hear it, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. And I like the feel of the album, but I'm going to ask you a really hard question now.
Let's go.
What is your favorite song and why does it resonate with you so much? Because I'm pretty sure with an EP, most of the songs are going to be your favorite. So what is your favorite song on the EP?
I would say 818.
And why does it resonate? Because it's your hometown, it's for your homies. Why does it resonate with you so much?
100 Million did that, found a way to get that rock side out of me on that hook. That high pitched screamo thing, but still make it pop and still have a hip hop kind of beat. And I think we didn't try to do that. That rolling down the 101 with the top down. That part, it was supposed to be rolling down the what? It was supposed to be low, country style.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? It's just, I don't know. What if I just tried the octave of that? And when I did it, he was like, oh, dude, do that. Double that, triple that. That's the sound. That's you. I was like, oh yeah, dude, that's easy. And I couldn't believe just hitting those high notes. I sang that song for my vocal coach a couple months ago. And he was like, wow, that's great. You're showcasing your voice, those high registers, and I'm glad you did it in a unique way. So I think that's why I like it.
Okay. And you know what? It's interesting to me. You have 2 videos, it seems like for certain songs. That's why I said you are the creator's creative, because the music, the video, it all tells a story to me. Like, how much of that do you actually sit there and like, man, this is what I see visually when I'm doing this video, and taking the music and actually making it into that art?
I would say when we record it, like whenever I record, we set up screens, like TV screens, and we'll have either Michael Jackson on, or, you know, No Doubt, like the Tragic Kingdom live show playing on one screen, or like a cartoon. And I just kind of get re-inspired of like why I'm doing it. Or Madonna will be on, and it'll be on mute, so I just see her and it like brings out. And so what happens is I become a character. Like every song has its own character. And so by the time it comes to shooting the video, I already know like, oh, I'm gonna be like, you know, in the Blessings video, you notice I wore like a long schoolgirl skirt. That's like an ode to Gwen Stefani from the No Doubt first album, when she used to wear the sports bras and the long skirts. Like I was giving her homage. And I just thought she was so badass, because it was the first girl I saw that was kind of tomboy but sexy. And, you know, like I already knew like this song is giving me this feel, like I want to bring her out. You know, this song, I kind of already got an idea. In the dojo, we're shooting it in the dojo, like in the hood. You know, I already kind of knew when I wrote the song, like while it's coming out, I could see it. So I just try to surround myself with people like, hey, here's what I'm thinking, you know, now what do you think? And then we kind of just all go for it. It comes out magically.
Do you feel like as a Latina, there's more, you're starting to see more diversity, especially in mainstream. And do you feel like there is like a typecast for you, and you can't really, like, for same thing for Black people, it seems like there's like one that can make it, and for you, you know, right now it's like you got J-Lo and all the, do you feel that?
I do, and I'm going to be honest with you. I've done a lot of music placements in Spanish that have been on Burn Notice. The Kardashians Go to Miami, or I forgot that, Miami something. They had a Miami show, but I've got a lot of TV songs I've sang on in Spanish that are reggaeton. And when reggaeton kind of first hit the scene, because I love reggaeton, I was like, man, it's so typical for me to just go like do reggaeton right now and be like, I'm gonna be like this girl, or like J-Lo. So I kind of low-key have been like, no, I want to establish who I am as Amy 818 first. And if I do Spanish, I want to do some Spanish rock, like something different. And then, yeah, for sure, I'd love to work with Maluma and Bad Bunny and like all these people, of course. But I want them to look at my history and be like, oh, she's dope. I want them to see like where I came from, so that when we finally work together, it's my sound with their sound, instead of me sounding like everyone else.
Okay.
Same sound you always hear. Because I think a lot of Latin girls have almost a similar tone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get typecast into like one of those girls. And I'm also not very like showy with my body, if that makes sense. I don't mind being sexy. And
so you're not doing a Shakira TikTok video anytime soon?
You know, if the song calls for it, and I get inspired and I'm like, yeah, that outfit's dope, I'll do it. But like, that's not my day-to-day feel, you know? And it's with Latinos, they love skin and the sex and you know, I just didn't want that to be the thing I was known for, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but do you feel like at some point they're kind of pushing you in that lane? Because it's not, I don't think it's just Latin women, I think it's just women in general. Like, sex sells, unfortunately, especially in the music industry.
I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was in that first girl group, they said, you're gonna be like the naughty schoolgirl, like Latina schoolgirl. And we're gonna just always have you in like these schoolgirl, like Catholic girl outfits, and we'll like sex it up a little bit. Like, I heard them say that. And I wanted to be so sexy so bad back then. Now that I'm older, I'm like, no, less is more, you know? But I did just do a video to Fuck It, I'm Good, and it's very sexy.
Okay. I mean, we can take a little bit of spice here and there, as long as you're not twerking on, because some people out see their timeline and it's like Jesus Christ, can we do something else?
Everything, like, what is more to see, you know?
I wish people knew.
Here and there, and I grew up being told not to go everywhere, not to show everything, and leave people wanting more, because back when I was younger, I mean, you never saw Janet Jackson out, or anybody was like, that's why they were famous, you know? And now it's like totally opposite, like show yourself everywhere to be known. But I'm still kind of old school, like I still like a little bit of mystery, and I feel like people that seek me out will appreciate me more than the people that I'm just pushing myself on as an artist.
I can respect that. And speaking of really digging into the music industry, you are married to someone who is a legend.
Oh, that part.
Yeah, a legend, a legendary in the R&B game, without a doubt, hands down, for 15 years. So for those of you that may not know, she is married to Ricky Bell from New Edition and Bell Biv DeVoe. How do you maintain especially in Hollywood, how do you maintain a marriage for that long? And how has his experience actually helped you in the music industry?
Okay, so that's a two-part question.
It is.
Since we were on the music, I'll start with the music and then I'll lead into how we've stayed together. He's like my biggest inspiration. I don't know if you've ever seen a New Edition or Bell Biv DeVoe concert, but it is a game changer, life changer, because these guys have so much energy. They dance from beginning to end. Everything they do is for their fans. They love fans, and their fans are so diehard. And the NE family is so beautiful. When you experience one of those concerts, you're like, okay, I better bring my A game. I better really be about this music, or what am I even doing? Because I'm always thinking, man, I want Mike Bivins to like say my stuff's good, you know. So or like I want Ricky, Mike, and Ron like to be like, oh, good job, Amy. So I'm always working hard because I know how hard these guys work. They work so hard. Brooke Payne is like the best. Like just seeing how he's worked with them, and they literally will still do 4 to 8 hour rehearsals.
Oh wow!
And to me, that's like old school, and they still do it. And I'm like, that's inspo. So that's inspired me to just really go for my dreams, and just knowing how humble Ricky is, and just having him by my side as my husband, my best friend, and my mentor has really been the biggest blessing. And that's not why I married him, but it's definitely a huge bonus. And
do you push it, not push it out there? Because it seems like, because a lot of other famous wives of famous people will push it out there, like, this is who I am. And it seems like you kind of like, nah, I'm in my own lane.
Overwhelming. I got to experience it when the New Edition movie came out and social media really became a hit. And it's a lot. And what happens is people just ask me, hey, Amy, how's Ricky? Hey, Amy, where's Ricky? How are you and Ricky? And it's like they kind of forget about me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I try to like show him, but also not make my life like about, my music only about him. He's done 2 songs with me, 3, 4 actually. We've worked together. I've written for him. It's been an incredible blessing, but we also want to stay in love and married, and working together is really challenging. So
Amen. Amen.
We'll do stuff here and there. And this is funny, but we've actually been married for 16 years.
Okay.
We had the years. It's weird. September of 2004 is when we got married. So
okay.
Someone was like, that's 15 years. One of our managers in the past told us that. We're like, oh, okay. We're coming up on 15 years. And someone was like, so we thought we were a year behind until this year. And someone goes, no, it's 16. I'm like, I don't remember anymore.
A long time. That's all you know. It's a long time.
Too long. No, I'm just kidding. I'm grateful. I would say we've stayed together because we ask for help. We don't do it alone. We're very humble in asking for pastors to pray for us, asking couples that have been together way longer than us to speak into our lives. We do therapy individually, collectively, couples therapy. We just had couples therapy session this morning.
Amen for the couples therapy. More people need to go.
It's not because we're so great at it. We got probably the same problems everyone else has. It's just that we're not giving up, and we're just like, hey, we need help. We don't think we should just give up on all of this, because it's going to affect us, my parents, all of our families and friends that look up to us. So many people, look up to us and what we've been through. For us to just give up when things get wrong, it's not fair. We didn't sign up to just quit when the going gets tough. So I think a lot of couples are just embarrassed to ask for help, and their egos get involved. And we're just kind of like, hey, we don't know what we're doing. Help.
Yeah, I see. I can appreciate that, and I think that's what a lot of people don't do. You want to pretend like everything is amazing and on the front side, but in the back is crumbling because you don't want people to know, instead of just saying, we really don't have this. We really don't got this. Now, you mentioned, and I'm not going to stay on it forever, but you mentioned the movie. Was that you? Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't you play, or your role?
Another girl played me. There was an actress that. The funniest thing though, Elise, I'll tell you, my manager sent me that audition, and I said, I love you, Mark. I said, yo, he's like, yeah, I sent you an audition, but pretty funny, huh? Amy Korea. I go, yeah, it's me. He's like, I thought so. I just wanted to. I said, no, dude, you wanted me audition for this. And we were like, there's no way I could play myself, because then it wouldn't be a real biopic. Because that's the first question everyone always asks me. Why didn't you play yourself? Aren't you an actress? It's like, I don't want to relive that. First of all, I already went
imagine that.
Relive it with an actor now. Like, just went through all this crap and trauma and therapy. So now I'm going to go redo that role and take away from a beautiful biopic that's going to be historic by playing myself.
Right. And I was going to ask you, how did you feel about it? Like, when you saw it, did you think it was accurate? Did you like, they didn't get it right? Oh, they edited too much. Like, what were your thoughts on that, since that was supposedly you?
Producing the entire time. So the snacks, like him coming home with the snacks, all of that is like to the T. And I think the actress, Cynthia, she did a great job acting. The only thing I would say is that she had a little bit of her Philly accent, and I am such a Valley girl. So it would have been great to have her speak like me and have that Valley girl feel, but the movie's about New Edition, not about me. So, I was a moving part. It's all good. I think she looked beautiful. I think her and Elijah Kelly had great chemistry. And I thought her emotions were there. Like, I felt it. Like, I was on set, and it got a little weird for Rick and I. So we went and said, hey, you guys are doing a killer job, but we got to go. It's a little weird.
I can imagine you wouldn't want to relive the situation all over again. Yeah. But how much does your love for acting play into, like, I think we hit on this a little bit, but play into like the music side of it, in music videos? And will we be seeing more of that acting play into your music videos, and will they become longer like Michael Jackson did back in the day, where it was like a whole thing?
Well, I would say for sure, because I would say I'm a character actress. And for anybody that hasn't seen anything recent, I am in A Girl Like Grace, which is on Netflix right now. I'm kind of a bully in that movie.
Okay.
Play like character-y kind of roles. I love to just bring the acting in. The Let Go, my latest music video, I would say I brought more of an acting feel, different characters to that music video. And moving forward, my goal, I don't want to give away too much, but I have my next album is going to be an entire like acting thing, but I don't want to say any more than that. So.
Okay. All right. We'll wait for it to drop.
Or that. I mean, I always want to integrate acting into what I do in some way, and then kind of just let God lead the rest, however that's going to play out.
Like a Beyonce visual album-esque?
Not quite, because I would say her she's really dope. But hers is like very beautiful and wow, and look at all those and the styling and the choreography and that look and the I would like to bring something more about the not to take away from her because her thing's super inspiring, like probably the best cinematography I've ever seen. But I'm going to bring something more that relates to how my personal story.
Got you.
Story that no one knows, like the detailed story of how I grew up and why I am who I am today. So my next album, my goal is to present that in a way that will inspire younger girls and people of all ages, the way I was inspired growing up. I want to bring back that inspo feel, like what Michael and Madonna did for me.
Oh, I love that. Different doesn't mean knocking one or the other. It just means, hey, we're doing this differently. That's all that means.
Audiences for different things. And, Beyonce does bring that beauty and like that essence in her voice. Like there's just things I so admire about her. And there's just, every artist has their own like niche thing, and I feel like when you find that thing, it separates you as an artist. And so I always just try to be like, okay, instead of trying to do that, I should find my niche thing and stamp that. And I think, that's what makes for a wide variety of audiences and people to choose from that you can listen to.
So before we go, I want to ask, because you mentioned it, you want to be inspirational for other people, other creatives. So if there's a little girl, hopefully she's not listening to this because I was good today, but I fucking cussed a lot. But let's say she is, okay? And the little girl from Baltimore, maybe doesn't not have to be a little girl, maybe an adult from Baltimore or an adult from the Valley. From the Valley that's listening to this and they're a creator and they're like, hey, I like music, but it's just not working. I don't know if I can do it. What would you say to those girls?
I would say, when I was little, I wasn't 100% confident in my vocals ability, but I was 100% confident that if Madonna can do it, if this person can do it, why can't I? And for me, there was no one telling me no. So I would just say, if my mom came from Guatemala and I was just a little girl with a dream and a tape recorder and I got inspired just by watching MTV, you can do it too. You can do whatever you want to do. It's whatever is in your heart. If you have 100% belief and passion for it, and that's really who you are, the door is just going to magically open for you because that's what you're put on earth to do. And I really feel that. So I would say stay inspired. And if you're not inspired, look for inspiration, and find out what's your passion. What would you do for free? What would you do if no one was paying you? If you just wanted to bring a smile to someone's face, and whatever that is what I feel like doors will open for you on.
Awesome. So now you have to stay inspired, find what you love, and you go for that. Now, for all the people like me who are waiting on pins and needles, now we have to see these visuals. How can we follow you? How can we hear your music? And what's your social media?
Well, as far as music goes, I'm on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, Google Music, Amazon. So anywhere you listen to music, Pandora, YouTube, I'm on there. Amy Correa Bell. And on all my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at Amy Correa, Correa Bell, Bell. I know it's a long name, but I'm same name across all platforms. You can find my music, follow me. I love to connect with my fans. I'm very responsive personally to everyone. So hit me up. Let me know what you think of my music. I always respond back. That's something I'm really adamant about.
Awesome. And I didn't bring up politics or anything this time. I was very good. This interview.
It's kind of refreshing to not talk about all that stuff for once.
Trust me, it as a person that watches CNN on a reel on MSNBC, it is very refreshing.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But we appreciate you coming to Millennials Anonymous. So when you are finished with your new visuals and your fully done album, and you're getting your own biopic, we're gonna need you to come back so you can, just drop us a holla.
I would love to, Elise. And I have a little surprise. I have, that song I told you I just shot visuals for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be dropping a remix EP from that song. Back in the day when they would make like 4 or 5 versions of the same song, I'm dropping one of those soon. So stay tuned for that. And the visuals to Fuck It, I'm Good. And after that, I'll be in the studio working on that album, and I'll be excited to share that with you when it's ready.
Awesome. So I'm excited. Now we got to find the remix. Now we're gonna be waiting maybe the end of the year, or we looking at 2021.
Yep, either early 2021 or the end of the year. You guys will have it.
Awesome. See, we got an exclusive. I feel special now. I don't know what to do.
First person.
See. The tears. See, I got an exclusive. I love it. So definitely you have to come back. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
Great chat. I loved your questions.
Yes, I am so happy that we had Miss Amy 818 on. She was such a dope guest. I hope she comes back and we can have another conversation, because we really have a lot to talk about. We could probably talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. Make sure you go and you stream her music. Make sure you go and you subscribe to her YouTube. You watch her videos. You share her content. When you have someone who's out here grinding and they really are true to the arts, it's not about mainstream. It's not about what's popping, popular right now. Like, they truly are true to their art. You have got to support it. Try the World is also on our website, so make sure you go and you get you a free, I think it's a buy one get one free box. So make sure you go, because they have all types of spices from all over the world. You can make some stuff and you could be in your kitchen and it's like you traveled the world, but you didn't. You travel right in your own kitchen from cabinet to cabinet. You know what I'm saying? It's a sea to shine and see. So make sure you go and you try them out. And then audiobooks.com, they also have a deal as well. So make sure you go onto millennials.us so that you can get some of these deals that are on our website. So thank you so much for tuning in to Millennials Anonymous Podcast. We will be back again next week. I'm super excited about the upcoming show that we have, so make sure you come back. We appreciate you. Bye.